Mayor Suarez has been if we were a WWE team, we've been the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, I guess, We've had to fight together around a lot of untruths about what we were doing here. Your former air traffic controller and Air Force man, and his leadership has been invaluable to me and the people of Bexar County. You've done the right thing, and that's why you've been elected over a dozen years. Give Mayor Suarez a big round of applause. And let me thank all of the elected officials who are here this morning, because they have had a very important role in designing this building. And our county clerk, good to see you. Lucy Adami Clark just came in. My mother is here. All right on time. Yeah, it snuck in on me. We went through a lot of meetings to program the space. And let me thank you, Pastor Draper, by the way, for your prayer. We always need those prayers, and that's why we started on the right foot. Thank you very much. I'll tell you later all the things I loved about your prayer. We went through a lot of meetings to program the space, and this is significant because that didn't always happen when I first started at Bexar County. The elected leaders were not always listened to by staff. Sometimes those of us on the ivory tower, the 10th floor, we just told the staff, do it this way, don't listen to what the electeds who will be using the space need. And I didn't think that was right. I wanted to turn a new chapter in terms of getting it right. The reason that's important to taxpayers is because we saw cost overruns, we saw changes and modifications that had to be done later to our facilities because we didn't listen the first time and do it right the first time. So this will be the best building that Bexar County has ever built for its employees and its citizens. Yeah. I also want to thank the Air Force, who have been an instrumental part of this development. When I first came into office, they told me a lot of things that I had no idea I'd have to do. But one of the very first ones, and my most proud accomplishment, was to save Randolph Air Force Base from closure. Brigadier General Eisler had told me about the fact that the Secretary of the Air Force was concerned about encroachment around Randolph Air Force Base, and that we needed to do a joint land use study so that the Air Force and the business community, the real estate community, the residents, the cities, and all around, that they had consensus about how are we going to use the land around Randolph. They had been in discussions for 3 or 4 years before I became commissioner and not been able to get that consensus. Within about a year and a half or two, we were able to get consensus and produce the final report such that Brigadier General Eisler told me, thank you, Tommy, we have saved Randolph Air Force Base from closure. He took me on a fighter jet flight, which was very fun. I had an adrenaline rush I've never had and never will probably have again. He taught me all the evasive maneuvers of a fighter jet, and I'm very grateful to the partnership that has been there for a very, very long time. I just met with the mayor of the Joint Base last week where I asked him, I said, look, is there anything that, I said, first of all, you have veto power over whatever I do on these grounds. I need you to know and understand where my heart is. We are not going to do anything that endangers the mission. If there's something that endangers the mission, we're done. But, we'll move on and we'll start something different. And I said, is there anything that is bothering you about this? Is there anything you need to tell me? Even if you just, we pretend like I didn't hear that, there was nothing. Everything is good. So we needed to say that because there's been a lot of misinformation, political disagreements that have wound their way into the press. And I'm sorry that the military had to get involved in that, but I'll be keeping it out and let my political enemies go by the wayside. So we'll keep moving. So let me just talk to my friends on the southeast side. Well, these are housekeeping items. We're going to get to some inspirational stuff in a minute. But, a lot of folks, I feel sometimes like a parent. I don't have kids, as you know, but over commissioners' precincts, we have such diverse areas. Our southeast is different than our east, is different than our northeast, is different than my downtown. My south central is different than they're all different. And I do my best to love every single segment of the precinct the same. And so a lot of people were concerned on Rigsby and 410 at the office loss of our constables. We are working to try and get a satellite office off of Rigsby. We've been working on that. I'll work to get that in the budget, hopefully in this next budget, so that we can have a multi-use center for our Southeast residents to be close, and the judge can come and hold court in the Southeast. But we also can have a deployment center for our sheriff's deputies, our constables, and all the other county things that need to happen. It won't necessarily be as large as this facility, but we'll work to maintain a presence on the Southeast side, and we will not be paying $400,000 in rent a year like we do now, which is a big savings to you as the taxpayers. We will buy that building, and we will own that building, and we will not be paying that debt service. We paid for that old Precinct 4 building many times over with that kind of high rent. Are y'all walking with me on this? So I want to thank the master planners of the 51 acres. I am just so delighted. I didn't think Brenda Vickery would be here this morning. Thank you for coming. I know you had a conflict. Jeff Tondry on your team, you and Jeff have been amazing at incorporating the joint land use study into all of the things that we do. Grace Rose was a big part of that design committee. Thank you very much. I want to thank Hewitt Zolars, who designed the exterior. They did an outstanding job of working in collaboration with the county, its departments, all of the electeds. And I want to thank Grace Rose for the interior design. It's absolutely beautiful, the botanicals that you have. And I do have to take credit for picking the floor tile. I will say I did not charge the county for that, but I hope you all like it. And I have never seen a county building like what you designed, and I expect Byrne, our construction manager, to bring it to life. And I want to thank them and all the workers who are going to be working on this facility. Again, I want to thank the military for all their support. It's important to let people know we had a lot of meetings with the military to make sure we didn't endanger the mission of Randolph, our 6th largest employer, and for their continued oversight partnership of this building. As you can hear, that sound of freedom, 220,000 flights a year as compared to the San Antonio International Airport, which is 14,500 flights a year. Why do I know that? Pastor Draper, I spent 2 years of my life working to save Randolph Air Force Base. That's why I know these fun facts, okay? So I am so happy about our partnership, that we have the ability to move forward. The things like the hotel space were things that the military requested because it's difficult to get on the base for people without a security clearance. And so they requested that as part of our master plan that we incorporate that. It was also, this land, this 51 acres, was also shown to me by a former 2-star at Randolph, our former sheriff, Susan Pamelrow, who came to me, and we looked at 3 different sites. And I'm very grateful that we chose this site because the other sites, one was next to a nursing home and one was next to a residential neighborhood, Judge Lopez, and they were, sheriffs and all these guys test sirens, and I didn't want to get calls about, hey, I can't sleep because the sirens are going off. Nobody's bothered in the neighborhood because we're a little tucked out of the way. It's important for you to know that we've worked so hard to secure about $10 million for land acquisition with the military. I worked across party lines. We worked with the governor. We got a defense economic adjustment agreement with Governor Abbott. I personally went to his home to thank him for working with me and for working with the county to get 75 acres of land purchased. And I really appreciated the fact that he helped San Antonio, and I still do. And so, yeah, absolutely. That's how we work together and preserve ourselves as Military City, USA. I'm committed to keeping America strong and free through our armed forces. But today it's finally time to celebrate the project that was first paid for in my first 44 days in office, Judge Sakai. The Commissioner's Court in 2015, in my first 44 days in office, purchased this piece of property with the master plan intentions. And I have to thank, actually, now Commissioner Rodney Ellis, who was state senator then, who who introduced me to the Dean of the Harris County Commissioner's Court, a gentleman named El Franco, who has gone on. Commissioner El Franco Lee of Harris County, Judge, had a county complex. And in that county complex, he had a natatorium where young people could get scholarships to college for swimming. Minority kids he was not just doing scholarships for the traditional basketball, football, and baseball. He said, let me get them into college on fencing scholarships. So there was a fencing and natatorium, and he had his public works department, he had his constables, he had his sheriff's deputies, he had all of this complex in one place. And I said, we need one of these in Bexar County. And that's how this came about. It was really through that visit where I saw the collaboration of various county departments coming together that we have the 51 acres. And that's why we didn't just buy the 8 acres for the sheriff's office, and we expanded to create more. But it's also because of what you told us on doorsteps. You said in this northeast area we don't have enough sit-down restaurants. And so we sat down with the real estate community and we asked them, how come y'all haven't built any shopping, retail, sit-down restaurants in this area? And they said, well, Commissioner, it's because nobody else has. I said, what? Because nobody else has? I said, the disposable income in Converse, here I go, bootleg realtor for you. The disposable income in Converse is twice that of the city of San Antonio. I have a report, a retail gap analysis, a study that shows hundreds of millions of dollars in unmet retail demand, in health and beauty, in restaurant, food and beverage, in all kinds of clothing sales, in furniture sales, in car sales. All this is being unmet. And so the county is leading the way. The county is leading the way to make sure that this 1604 corridor is just as beautiful as La Cantera or Stone Oak. We're going to have a destination here at Sante 51. So I want to thank every commissioner. I want to thank you, Judge Lopez, for being here because you helped ensure that the security was right for the judge, that the facility was great, and I know that we'll look forward to having you walk through that when we cut the ribbon, and that we are going to have an incredible economic juggernaut. This project already has reaped over $2 million into the general fund of the county. This project is going to reap tens of millions of dollars for Converse and Bexar County over time. We're going to work together to create a special district to maintain the property to the highest pristine caliber that the military requires of us. So get ready. Our best days are ahead. As we break ground on this new satellite office, let this building be a symbol of what can be done with hard work, the collaborative spirit, and a great team to turn the tide of history. So keep the faith. Never stop working together for the greater good. I can't wait to see you at the ribbon cutting ceremony. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Commissioner Calvert, for that history lesson, because, you see a nice building that's being implemented, but it's nice to know the historical events that led up to it. So thank you for sharing that. So next on the agenda, we are going to have the Bexar County Tax Assessor, Mr. Albert Uresti.
It's always my worst nightmare to follow Connie Calvert. So, good morning. What a great day for Bexar County and the Northeast side. My name is Albert Uresti, and I'm the Bexar County Tax Assessor Collector. I want to congratulate Judge Peter Sakai. I want to congratulate Commissioner Tommy Calvert, and of course the rest of the Commissioner's Court as we break ground today for this wonderful county complex. For Northeast side businesses and residents, conducting business with the Bexar County Tax Assessor Collector's Office is about to get much easier and more convenient. I want to thank Commissioner's Court for approving my request to build Bexar County's first ever drive-through on the Northeast side. I also want to thank Commissioner's Court for all the support and for having the foresight, and I think that's very important, for having the foresight to look to the future in preparation for the county's future needs. From my first day in office, my staff and I have worked hard to improve customer service for our taxpayers and have made many improvements to our operations. Our mission from day one and continues to be to help keep families in their homes. to help accomplish our mission, we offer Bexar County citizens the most property tax payment plans of any county in the state of Texas, including the only 10-month payment plan for our senior citizens, our disabled citizens, and our disabled veterans. Nobody else in the state of Texas has this. We're the only county that has this. And I'm working to get the quarter payment plan for all our citizens for residential homesteads. So we're excited about that, and we're hoping that happens. During the pandemic, Bexar County was the only tax office in the state of Texas that never closed their operations. And much of this can be attributed to the county's first ever drive-through that we built at our Southside location in 2019. And thank you for that too, Commissioner. During the pandemic, our drive-through served 400 citizens per day. While other counties were closed, our office was able to continue its operations and service to our citizens, in large part because of the drive-through. This 5-lane state-of-the-art drive-through that we will be building here is another way for us to improve customer service for our citizens, and will offer an opportunity for citizens to complete transactions from the comfort of their vehicle. It will help our senior citizens and disabled citizens, but it will also help the mothers and fathers who have children in their vehicles. So those of y'all that have kids, for those of you that are older like me, when I was growing up, the seatbelt when you were driving was put your arm out and hope that kid didn't fly away, right? How many of y'all remember that? Get the names of these people. But now you strap the kids in like they're going to the moon, and you're in the drive-thru, you come into our office, and it takes 30 seconds to do the transaction, maybe 5 minutes, but you come to our office, and this way you don't have to take the kids out the 30 minutes to put them back. So we're really excited about this. In closing, this project, like many of our projects, was not easy to get off the ground. And I know that Tommy Calvert can attest to that. You remember all the conversations we had back then, and so it was not easy. So I want to, congratulate, the commissioner. But in paraphrasing President John F. Kennedy, Bexar County chooses to do things not because they're easy, but because they are hard. And our hard work is far from over. We will continue to look for ways to be more efficient and to improve our customer service to the citizens of Bexar County. Thank you. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Commissioner Square.
Thank you, Mr. Uristi. So next on the agenda, we have my new neighbor who just got newly elected. It's going to be Judge Michelle Garcia.
Good morning, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge my staff and all the members of the community here today. Without y'all, none of this would be possible. So again, I just want to say thank you very much. Again, my name is Judge Michelle Garcia, and it is my privilege and honor to serve as a Justice of the Peace in Precinct 4. My staff and I have been anxiously waiting for today. It is with great anticipation that we look towards the future and how our new facility will play a role in modernizing the services we provide to the community. Along with its planned architectural beauty, the new facility will supply a safe and appropriately spaced courthouse for our employees and litigants. Public service will be a prominent feature in the new court with added customer service windows, a comfortable jury deliberation room, and 2 beautiful courtrooms. The presence of the tax office will play a key role in assisting staff in processing administrative ticket dismissals. Typically, an individual needs for their administrative dismissal is a copy of their current proof of registration, which now they can obtain easily next door. Gone are the days in which the constituents will have to stand outside in various weather conditions, park within the neighborhood, and fear that they will be running late for work or for court. And the new facility will supply plenty of seating and parking. Through the hard work of Commissioner Calvert and all those involved in the development of the new facility, the court will reflect our continued commitment to provide fair, efficient, and equal access to justice in Precinct 4. Again, I just want to say thank you very much, and our staff are super excited about this new building and ready to serve the community of Precinct 4. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge Garcia. Appreciate those remarks. So we are now at the point that I would like to bring up the former judge, which is Rogelio Lopez. When I got into office, he was very instrumental in getting me acclimated to my new duties and whatnot. So it's good to see you and welcome aboard.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Rogelio Lopez. I am not a citizen that was born in San Antonio or in Bexar County, but I've been here for a little over 30 years. And during that, the majority of that time, I've had the privilege of residing in Precinct 4. And so I've had the opportunity to watch our community grow. And I've been truly blessed in that regard. About 20 years ago, as a young lawyer, I remember I was sent to handle a matter, and I walked into a building off of W.W. White, a bank building, and in the lobby I was directed to a small window, and I'm thinking, this is kind of strange. Because I was going to the court, and so I thought to myself, I wonder where the court really is. And I thought, this has to be a satellite office or something. They helped me out at the window, and I took care of my business, and I went on about my day, and I never had an opportunity to see that court. Fast forward several years, and about 13 years ago, I was blessed with the opportunity to serve as the judge in Precinct 4. And at that time, I was sworn in by the Honorable Judge Al Alonso. And Judge Alonso, when he came to the facility, he said, "Man, this is really nice." And I thought to myself, it is. It really is. He said that he had at one point served as a JP as well, and back when he was a judge, he would hear litigants on what was the equivalent of a folding card table. So he let me know how spoiled I was in this new facility. And though it was a beautiful facility, as you've heard already from Commissioner Calvert and some of the other folks, it's a very expensive facility. And so, with beauty, we were spending a lot of money. So today, what we are celebrating, to me, it's a celebration, is the forward thinking of Commissioner Calvert. When I first took an oath back in almost 30 years ago as an attorney, and as many of you who are here have taken an oath, there's two parts to the oath. One is that you will follow the laws, but the more important part, and the important part I want to focus on, is that when you take that oath, you say you are going to serve to the best of your ability the duties that you have been entrusted with. And that's what the oath is about. We have been entrusted to serve. And today, this is why I say it's a celebration, because we all, the citizens of Bexar County and Precinct 4, are blessed to have been entrusted, to have given our trust to folks like Commissioner Calvert and Judge Sakai, who have the forward thinking to bring us to this point. So today, I'm ecstatic to be here. I'm ecstatic to be a citizen in Precinct 4, where I have chosen to raise my family and serve my clients and my community. And I look forward to many, many, many years of continued service. Thank you all.
Well, you know what? We are all looking forward to it, and it is such a joyous occasion. And this is pretty much going to conclude our ceremony. And just keep us in your prayer, and we look forward to serving you in the future. We're going to break some ground over here.